Hey, how's it going? What we're gonna do on this video is look at Invesco QQQ, which is right here. It basically tracks the top 100 stocks in like a ETF type fund. You can also see the other stocks that I'm looking into. And here's a little chart over here that kind of summarizes what the different colors mean. Uh, you can see we recently went through Google, which looks like a decent time to buy. CRISPR is also a decent time to buy. And as far as me, I recently bought a little bit of Tesla and AMD. I felt like those were decent prices. Still probably decent prices right now. And so let's just go into Invesco QQQ and start looking at that. So this is a new account for me. It is loaded on the screen. All we're doing here is a 5-line system, and the 5 lines are basically the bottom, what appears to be the bottom to me, and we're just going to put that in as black, and the top, which is like the ultimate sell point, that's also black. And if you watched any of like my last video, um, this is kind of the pattern that I was talking about. Most of the stocks that we've been looking at so far have this pattern where it's like it has this really low point here back in 2020, which is common for pretty much all stocks. And then it rallies up to a certain point, whenever that may be, and then it comes down, and it normally has a new low point that is still like considerably above that low in 2020. But yeah, this stock CRISPR, it had this low point, and then it's had that low point again, and so it was different. Didn't Haven't seen one like that. It's Most of them that I've seen are like this type of pattern. So this is uh, very familiar to me. And so again, we're looking at about uh, a 3 year window of time. And so again, we just put in our black lines, which is the top and bottom. We're gonna find what I would say would be like a sell point, which um, could put one in here. I'm gonna see if there's a better one. But so we have one here-ish. Um, this one's this one doesn't really have much of like a resistance line. Like there's a little bit here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one's decent. 10. Let's draw in another line just to see. Here's another spot right around here-ish, I could say, where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This one's kind of close too. That might be like a midpoint. Um, that might be our blue line. So once again, if you're not familiar, what we're doing here is the red line is when I would want to sell, not necessarily the entire position, but at least something, because chances are I've probably made some profit on whatever I bought. So, let's make some of that. And, I think the saying is buy the dips and sell the rips. Well, if it gets up to this point, that would be, in my opinion, a rip. And so we would sell out at that point. This blue line, that's kind of like I'm thinking this is going to be like our midpoint, where if you can get it below the blue line, that's not a bad position. If you buy it above the blue line, that's you could have got better. Is really all it is. It's just like a helpful tracker. If you like, I guess if I needed to spend or something, and it's like, and I just started flipping through stocks, and I was like, oh, this one's above the blue line. Well, okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one without even thinking. But um, So for this one, if I were to find like another support line, this one's this one's very tricky because it 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 really just kind of mountains up and then drops, and now it's kind of mounting up again. There's not much like resistance or support in any place, but we're just gonna do our best, and it's just my opinion. So we'll kind of see if that's the new low. Do I see anything that kind of like here's a spot? Doesn't really call out to me, and I'm saying that because when I look at this, there's like in terms of support, I see 1, 2, and then nothing for like 2 or 3 years. Here's 3, 4. It just sliced right through it, sliced right through it. 5, I guess. Like, there's just not much here. Like, here seems like it held up for a little bit. It popped up, then it met resistance, but then it just fell. It popped up, went up, um, stayed above that line for a little bit, but then fell. But then it came right back up. Then it stayed above it forever. Then it touched the line, didn't want to go below. It did come below, but it popped right back up, stayed above for a good while, went below, touched this new low, which seems to be like a really solid support line, came above, stayed above for a good month, went below, touched this line again, and now it's above. So I like this line. So 277 would be my buy point in terms of, maybe this would be like a support line. Maybe I should scrunch this down a little bit. Because that just seems really high to me. So let me just draw on one more line just to kind of see how it play. And I'll just make this one, I'll make this one blue also. The other line that I was looking at is like, let's just put this down here for a minute. In terms of a red line, like, okay, let's make this one red actually. So in terms of like a ceiling, this kind of seems like a ceiling for a good bit, because it's like it hits that, doesn't want to go above, hits it, doesn't want to go above, but then it goes above, it stays above for a while, right? It comes below for a little bit, goes up. Like it's hit it, like it's clearly hit this red line once, twice, 3 times, 3 clear hits. This line, once, you know? So I think we're gonna drop it down. So let's get this line out of here. I think we're gonna get this blue line out. We'll drop this red line down to about 339. I can even make it a little bit lower, about 336. So let's kind of set the chart up here. So Invesco, it's currently trading at 294. A good buy point for me would be 277. A sell point would be 336. So it's not a crazy range. I feel like I condensed it. And then so in terms of this blue line, for me, I would say this hits a lot of marks right in here. It seems like half of it's above and half of it's below. More of it is kind of 50-50. More recently, it seems to hang out below that line. So I kind of like that line. It's hit its head on this 306 number once, just recently, twice. It also acted as resistance once, Yeah, I think that's a fair line to say. Um, so would I actually do anything with this stock right now? No, it's not. It's below the blue line, so it's you know it's close. You know, if it has another bad week or two, sure, I'll look into it, but you know, not until it got close to like maybe 282 or something. You know, low 280s, mid to low 280s. Okay, then I'll start watching it. But so if we just go back to our summary, what we just did is add in. Let me move over. So we just added in this line right here, and I can move this up top, I guess. Let's make this shorter. Let's move that in. I don't know why that row is so big, but so Invesco QQQ, once again, that's the top 100 stocks. So this one, yeah, I'm not gonna mark this anything. I've done that before. Nvidia's like it's right in the middle, so I'm not interested in doing anything with that. The buy. It's closer to the buy point, so it's on my radar in that way. But it's still far away that I feel like once we circle back to it, depending on when that is, maybe a week or two later, we'll see. But that's so that was QQQ. I hope you enjoyed this. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. So, bye.